Let's go over the Webflow interface so you understand how to use it, what are the key features, and actually what do all of these icons mean. So first, let's go ahead and focus on the left side. You'll see a plus icon. If you hover over any icon within Webflow, it's really nice. They give you a tooltip to actually let you know what you can do here. So for this one, add elements. This is where you're going to be using this quite a bit to add sections, containers, content, any of your basic content and elements that you want to apply to the page. You'll become very familiar with this, adding headings, text blocks, images, and that sort of thing. Right below that is the pages menu. So this is where you'll create new pages. You'll navigate to and from pages to customize. Here, clicking on this little icon, you notice this flies out. You have the ability to name a new page, customize the URL, and that sort of thing. Across the top, we have this toggle preview. So if you're in the middle of working on a website and you want to see what it looks like actually on the web without any of the clutter of the interface, you can simply click toggle preview, and it removes the aspect of Webflow as you're building it, so you can actually see what it's going to look like. Also here, you have the ability to customize the content based on the device that someone is viewing the content on. So defaulted is desktop, but you also can select to view on tablet, mobile, as well as mobile portrait. Once you're finished with your site and you're ready to publish, there's two things you can do. You can either export the code and host it on your own, and this provides you with full HTML, CSS, as well as the images in a zip file that you can download. Or you can actually click on the publish button, and this will give you a webflow.com URL that you can actually, it's live hosted, and you don't have to purchase hosting. It's all wrapped together. Now on the right side of the page, we have 5 panels, and you'll become very familiar with these as well as you go through this tutorial in this course. The first one that's selected is the style panel, denoted by the paintbrush. So you notice right now nothing's selected, so there's no styles, but let's go ahead and select body real quick. And as you can see, as you select on a particular element, and there's a selector with it, a class, it gives you a series of other panels within here, such as position, typography, background, border, shadows, and effects, that you can customize the content. As we go through this tutorial, you'll become very acquainted with this as far as knowing when to use particular things, such as margins and padding, changing typefaces, as well as background colors, adding images, and that sort of thing. Settings is where you can actually customize various things. You can add in custom attributes. If you created a link block, you can actually link that particular element to another page or another URL on the web. The navigator panel is going to become very handy for you because this is where all of your elements are going to be listed as you start building out your page. Right now we only have one, which is the body, but as you start building out your page, you'll notice this becomes full, and you'll have the ability to drag and drop things and place them in the right order as you build your page. The style manager is it's the area where all of your styles reside. So if you're not using any styles in particular and you've created them, you have the ability to delete those. You can also click clean up styles up here, and it will remove any unused styles. That way your code remains always clean and concise and very easy to understand. The last portion, the last panel here is the assets manager panel. Here you can create symbols, so things like buttons and other things you're going to be utilizing throughout your website on multiple pages or one page, either way. The other part is interactions. Now, some of the videos that you'll go through here were actually created prior to Webflow's new user interface for this particular web application. They just recently switched. So interactions is technically under settings for some of the videos, but now it has been moved under assets manager. So just remember that as you go through. and you'll be able to follow along pretty easily. Interactions is basically a way that you can add hover effects or certain triggers to make other things appear as you go through.